Okay, so where do you need help?
Well, if I understand correctly, first we have to learn how to write the letters, how to pronounce them.
Okay.
And then if we get that, then that's when we can add the letters together and actually start writing.
Okay, hold on one second. I want to get a piece of paper and pen just to clarify this, all right?
Okay.
So as far as the Sanskrit is concerned, first the letters, the Devanārī. So let's just be very clear as to what it is that we're studying. It's Devanārī, Sanskrit, right? And
it's a sound.
Sanskrit is the language. Devanārī is the sound in the language. That's right.
Yeah.
Devanārī is
the writing of
the writing, and the IAST is the Roman way to write with diacritics. Okay, so you just like when you were very, very young, you didn't need to know how to write to know the language that was spoken to you. The same is true of Sanskrit and any other language, right? So it is not 100% necessary to read and write the Devanārī. Here's Dana. Oh my God. I don't know whether she's on. It is not necessarily 100% needed to read and write, but it is necessary to at least be able to do the IAST.
Okay.
And
how can I put that on my iPad or on my computer?
Yes, you can do that as well.
How?
So in the iPad, when you I don't know, go to anything in iPad.
Yeah, let's say if you press an A, like 5 different types of A come up.
Right.
I got to that point. Right. But then how do you pick which one do you want out of them? I tried and they just disappear.
Okay. So I'm going to, here we go. So you hit A.
And then like 5, 6 of them come up.
Right. So 5, 6 of them come up. So what you have to do is you have to slide your finger up to wherever it is. Don't leave the pad or slide the pen.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how that one comes up. You don't need to, not everything is going to be on the iPad itself. On the computer. Oh, there we go. Hi, Dana. On the computer, what type of computer do you have?
What do I have? Well, I have a Samsung.
Oh, see, this is where I have problems.
Yeah, because you have
because I have a Mac. So what I do is you're going to have to look for a keyboard. Okay. And my keyboard is ABC Extended.
That's the name of it?
That's the name of it that I use. And when I hit a key, Option, and it might be Function for you, then it'll show up with all kinds of different additional things that you can use.
Okay.
And the same, and I can also have the same thing that I do with the A and the S's that you do on the iPad.
Okay, perfect.
So Dana, let me unmute. Can you hear me? Now I can hear you. I just unmuted you, Dana.
Hi, Hi, Dana.
Hi,
Hi,
Dave.
can you see me too or not?
No,
No, we can't see you.
Huh.
not yet. So let me see if I'm going to ask you to start video. I don't know if you're going to get a.
Yep, I got something. The host asked you to start my video.
Does it say yet?
There.
Yeah.
Yay. Wow. Amazing.
Amazing. It's done and it's recording. Okay. So we were just talking about trying to be clear about what we're actually studying, whether it's Devanagari, right? IAST, which is a mouthful, IAST, which is the Roman numerals. With
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, with the diacritic marks, right? Or Sanskrit. Now, Sanskrit is the language, so it's just the sound and the hearing of it and the understanding of what those sounds mean, right? Whereas IAST and Devanagari are both representations of the Sanskrit sounds, or any sounds, really.
So IAST is the Roman numeral. Is that symbolizing
Roman letters, not
Letters.
numerals.
All right.
Roman letters is what the English language is written in. Okay. So let me see what I can do here. So IAST, I wonder if I should have a whiteboard. Okay. So IAST, IAST is Roman letters, right? So this is the Roman letters. And in Devanagari, this letter represents a. This letter is the long A, which represents a, right? So that's because in English, we don't distinguish between a short A and a long A. For us, we write it all as this first A. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So, there are three different ways to represent Sanskrit or Devanagari, to represent Sanskrit in Roman letters. And this one is becoming the most common. So you may see some older styles where you'll have like a capital A or two A's to represent the long one, and sometimes you'll see SH instead of this one. That could be an SH. Let's see, right? Or sometimes this is the SH, right? So sometimes you will see all of those kinds of things together, and in English, it gets very confusing. So that's why I'm always asking for people on the chats to write in the IAST. Okay, so Valeria just figured out how to do that on her iPad. And I don't know if you know how to do that, Dana, on whatever systems you are on. What are you on?
I'm not on any system, so I don't know how to do that.
What computer are you? What type of computer are you on?
A MacBook Pro. Okay.
All right. So on your MacBook Pro, if you look way up on top, you should have something that says English on it. you know, it would be to the left of your, where the time and day is.
Okay, is this on my screen or on my keyboard?
It's your keyboard that we're looking at. It's not your keyboard. It's on your screen. I'm sorry.
Okay, I need to minimize the video screen.
Oh, yes. So you're going to
How
need
do I do that? I don't even know. Wait, I mean, it should be easy enough, but I can't see it anywhere. Share screen.
So let me unshare this, and that way you can.
No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. View options. There we go. Okay, so you were saying
On the top, you know, where you, all the way to the left is the little apple sign.
yes.
And to the right is your clock, right? Just to the left of the clock should be something that says US with a flag, maybe.
No, there's nothing here
Okay,
like that.
so you don't have that as a setting. So go to your settings. Let's see. Yeah.
Systems preferences, maybe?
Systems preferences, yeah.
Okay.
And then you can go to keyboard. And it should say input sources.
Okay, I don't have anything that says wait.
Once you've hit the keyboard section, it should say input sources. It says keyboard text shortcuts, input sources, dictation.
I'm under keyboard shortcuts and there's nothing that says anything like that. What was it again? Yeah, there's nothing.
So read to me what you've got up top, right next to the keyboard.
And then it says keyboard shortcuts, and then there's a list of launch pad and dock, mission control.
Okay, so you're working on an older, so go to keyboard.
Okay. Okay, and then under keyboard it has a bunch of little boxes with check marks.
So tell me what they are. Is there a box up on top that says keyboard text shortcuts, input sources, dictation?
No.
Okay, so read what you've got under your keyboard.
Change the way tab moves focus, turn keyboard access on or off, move focus to the menu bar, move focus to the dock, move focus to active or next window.
So click on show keyboard and emoji viewers in menu bar.
Move focus to the menu bar.
Yeah.
Okay. And it says nothing's happened. It says F2. Nothing happens when I click on it.
You click, is it checked off?
Yes, it's checked.
So look up on top where your clock is. Do you have it in the menu?
Shoot. What the heck happened? Yeah, I mean the clock is, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't feel
Your
like
menu bar, don't relax, it's okay. You don't have to do this, you know, we'll get there when we get there. We'll just try it one more time. Eventually you'll show me your computer, and then I'll be able to tell you exactly what to click. But for now, so this way this is just to help you type it out rather than to read it out. Okay, that's all. It's not going to stop you from learning. So on the top of your computer screen, on the right-hand side, has that changed to show you maybe something that says US with a flag on it?
No,
Okay, so I'm going to need to do a screen share with you, but since it's so late for Valeria, let's do that at another time.
Sure.
All right? Okay, great. So back to this whiteboard. So you're understanding what IAST is?
Is that, I mean, is it a way of, I don't understand what it is still. I'm sorry.
Okay. So when we write English, the name of the letters that we are calling it is Roman numerals.
Roman letters, you mean?
Roman letters, yeah. Roman letters, right? And when we write English, we have 26 letters that we have to represent.
Okay.
IAST helps us to expand those 26 letters by doing certain diacritical markings, such as a long bar over a vowel, or inye sound marking, which is that inye is that Spanish N. Okay, so that Spanish N is already something that's out there. Those little markings are called diacritical markings. IAST is a way that we have that scholars of languages have put together to represent the Devanārī language, the letters in Roman letters. Does that make sense now? It's just a representation so that we're all on the same page.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to reshare.
Like if somebody doesn't want to learn the Sanskrit letters, they can still read Sanskrit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, so here we are. So now I'm going to reshare my screen so that you can see what those letters look like. So what this is that Sanskrit course that we keep referring to. So let's just go through this first one so that we can, so that I wrote this beginning part to it so that it's not so overwhelming. Because the problem with learning a new language, especially if you only know one language, or is that the adult mind can't reconcile with the child mind, right? The adult mind goes, why am I not getting this? Whereas the child starts feeling really vulnerable. So you start feeling really vulnerable, but the idea is that language is so deep in our intellect and in our personality, actually, that it's a filtration system for how we see the world. Okay, does that make sense? So you know, you live in Alaska and you know the different types of snow, right? You know what's going to happen with certain kinds of snows, and I understand that there are actually different words for each type of snow, right? Rather than icy snow or wet snow, or am I correct? You know, if you were to speak to the natives there. So they have different representations, but that's also as a way to filter out what you see in the world. And the same is true with any language. When you know one language, you will see the world under the conditions of that specific language. When you know more than one language, your mind can see things from, it filters things sometimes from two different perspectives. So in my case, I was born with two languages, well, more than two languages, but the ones that I still have right now. And basically what happens is when I think in one language, when I speak in one language, I think in that language. When I speak in another language, I think in that other language. But my worldview somehow has both of those aspects in it. So I hardly ever will agree with anyone because I'll always look at, especially in the United States, because I'll always look at them going, well, yeah, that's not really, the way I see it. So it's not just my intellect and opinion, but it's actually the worldview. So the way to start with Sanskrit is not by writing, because we didn't write it first. Well, we don't write language first. The first thing we do with language is we hear it and we imitate it, right? Mm-hmm. So to pull away from having this anxiety of having to write it and read it and understand it, we just need to learn the sounds of it. And we need to feel the sounds of it in order to make the sounds correctly. Okay, so on your own, you can go through this piece regarding, the language, to pull back some of the anxiety, because a lot of people just have anxiety learning a new language. Oh my God, I'm lost, right? It's because it's that filter and it's that part of your persona that is feeling vulnerable. That makes sense? Questions? Because I want to pause with this, because this is it's a very vulnerable thing.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that helps because, well, I have a background in yoga and I love listening to chants and chanting myself. So I do have, that is where I feel most comfortable with Sanskrit. Right. The Sanskrit chants I've already learned, and the yoga and the Ayurvedic training I've already done. So that's where I feel comfortable, but now I'm suddenly feeling extremely lost.
Again. Okay. Yeah. And it doesn't help when you have people who are speaking it at you or speaking to you, and they are garbling their words because they're so familiar with it, so you're getting lots of different accents and garbling and God knows what. So the first thing is the sound, which is the name Shabda, right? And Rupa is the form. So we kind of spoke about that this week, Shabda and Rupa, right? So Rupa is the form, Rupa is the letters, Shabda is the sound.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the sound is the Sanskrit. The Rupa, the form, is the Devanārī or the IAST.
The writing of it?
Yes. That's the form.
Okay.
The form of the sound. It's the description of the sound.
The form of the sounds, the letters.
Yes. And that's what letters are.
Okay. I'm still a little lost at how we use IAST, but it's a way of using the Roman letters to... It's
IAST is the way you have read Sanskrit in your
Okay,
mind.
so Dana, when you're learning a chant, you're not going to read it in Sanskrit. You're going to read it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're reading it in English letters.
In IAST.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes you're reading it in IAST.
Okay. I have a poster that I've had for many years. Can I show it to you?
Sure.
It's right here. See if you can just... Is that because this now maybe finally will come into handy.
So that is Devanārī.
Okay, so that's going to come in handy to me now.
That is coming handy to you right now. Okay. All right, so next. So if you can see this, these are your vowels. That's your chart that you have there. The first lines there are the first lines of your chart. So the first letter here is the Devanārī, right? The second one is also Devanārī. The third way is how IAST transliteration is. And the fourth line is how it's pronounced. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all kind of very much here. So if we look at that first, so let's speak this together, and we're just going to speak the phonetic pronunciation of these top letters, right? So it's e, u. Repeat. E, u. Okay. Again. E, u. Okay. So if you were to put a piece of, let's get rid of that. Now you shouldn't see the phonetics, right? All you see is the IAST, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're reading in the Roman letters.
Wait a minute, I don't see the IAST.
Yeah, it's the third line from the top.
It's the third line from the top.
I cannot scroll. It won't, it's something stuck.
No, it's not going to scroll on you.
Okay.
What is the most bottom thing you see on your screen right now?
Devanārī letter. The Devanārī letter and then the second Devanārī letter.
Now
there,
what?
there. Now I see the IAST.
Okay. So, and hopefully you're not seeing the phonetic pronunciation.
I am, but I see now if I move. Okay, now it's blocked.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't want you to see that because I want you to learn to read the IAST. Okay? So, repeat. E, u. Okay. So when we look at this, the first letter, the difference between the first letter and the first A and the second A is that the first A has one beat and the second A has two beats. Okay? So no one's gonna fine you for like really making that long. Okay? They'll like it. So E, u. Beautiful. So we have a little tune that goes e, u. E, u. You want to try it? Beautiful. That's all you need to know. Those are the first four letters. Now the vowels are very, very interesting. Because the question is why do I have two Devanagari letters for the same sound? Right? That would be my question. Why do I have that?
Well, that's the in-between one.
Huh?
That's the in-between letter.
These are the in-between letters. So even though if you were to talk to a Sanskrit scholar or anyone from India and they told you what I'm about to tell you to remember, they would shoot me. But I look at these top letters, these first letters, as capital letters. So so capital letters in English only come in the beginning of a word, right?
Yes.
And then there's the others. So it is just wise enough to just know that when you see this top row, it's the capital. You'll only see it in the beginning. The second row, you'll see it more often.
Okay, question. Do we see that in the beginning of the sentence or the beginning of the word?
Beginning of a word.
Okay. Because then you
if the vowel is in the beginning of the word.
okay.
Okay, only if the vowel, and this is only true for the vowels. Okay. And why is it only true for the vowels? Because the vowels is what moves the breath. The vowels is how you shape your mouth to make sound. Right? The consonants are harder, and that's where the tongue and the tongue and the lips and the teeth meet each other. The vowels are where the breath goes through. And how you, so if you went from ow, right? That's all, you can do that easily. Ow, without having to touch anything inside your mouth. And that's what vowels are, is a way to push the breath through. I'm going away from that one to this one. So the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the next 4 here are a second set of vowels, which are a little longer. So it's A, I, O, ow. Okay, want to repeat after me? A, I, O,
O,
ow.
ow.
Yeah, ow, ow, outsu, ow. So you want to make that longer. A, I, O, ow.
Oh.
A-I-O-ow.
Ow, ow. Okay. So let's try and do A, I, O, ow. A, I, O, ow. Uh-huh.
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 Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying uh-huh.
Well, it could be uh-huh. Sometimes
that-
it's uh-huh, sometimes it's oh-ho, sometimes it's ee-hee. Yeah. Why is that? So let me go back to these. So these two modify the vowel in front of them or the letter in front of them. So the is just a closure. So the word om has this dot up on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Om. So that's the closing of it. That's the ending of the vowels. In order to close, you close your mouth and it ends it.
And the dot symbolizes that ending?
The dot symbol, yeah, on top of the letter. So if you're looking at this if you look at the Devanārī letters, right? So this is the letter with a dot on top, meaning
Okay.
right? The 2 dots behind it is a repeating of the sound of the vowel sound that came before. So that's why we say aha. So you know it as namaha, om namaha, right? You've heard that in mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Namaha, that's those 2 dots.
Aha.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yay!
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this second line of Devanārī letters? I don't understand how that's another letter. It doesn't look like letters to me.
Okay, so the second line of Devanārī, remember how I said the first line is like the capital letter in English, where it's only used in the beginning?
Yes. Okay.
So these are how the vowel is represented in the middle of a word.
Okay. How the vowel is represented. Okay.
Yes. So that circular sound, that circle, the dotted circle, is the where the consonant would be. So let me so if I were to type in, and I'm going to, let's see if I can do this. So this letter here is the letter N, right? You don't know this yet, but if I were to put, oops, the N with an, this is not, this, I'm trying to annotate and it's not quite working here. So let's see if I can do this. Okay, so this is the N sound, right? Na. And then this is in blue. And then if I wanted to use that A sound next in front of it, then I would just do that. And that, can you see that in blue?
Yeah.
What I just typed?
What I see, the first letter, but did you say you were going to type?
I just typed right on top of it. I don't know if you can see it. It's in blue.
You just put a little slant to the left?
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so that,
okay.
Yeah, so that na, so that bottom letter is the na sound, and then that slant makes it an A sound, so it's nay.
Oh my God.
Okay. So rather than side by side, if I was to type it in English, right? If I was to type the same thing, I would do nay, right? Or that's how it's pronounced, or I would type it as ne. That's, this NE is the representation, the IAST representation of this top Devanagari letters.
Ne. Okay.
Okay, so let me erase all of this. Oh, this is cool. The first time I'm using these thingies. Okay, so that's not. So let's start from the first letters again. E, U, U. E, U. A, I, O, L,
A, I, O,
Beautiful. So you now have almost all of the vowels. Now we get to these puppies. So Sanskrit is an ancient, ancient language. And some say it comes from bird song, or it sounds like birds. And these letters come from classical Veda letters, not current Sanskrit, but classic, like old, ancient, right? Most of these you will not see, but it is good to know. So this first one, however, is a letter that you will see a lot. You will see it in the word Sanskrit, you will see it in Prakruti, you'll see it in Vikruti, right? There's no, it's a trill. The trill is the actual vowel. Okay?
Okay.
That makes sense? Took me up until about 2 weeks ago to figure that one out. That it's the trill itself that's the vowel. It's the way the breath moves through the mouth.
Trillers.
Right? So that first Devanagari letter is R, and then it's a long Ri, and then it's the L with the R, and then it's a long Ri. So let's just try to do the Ri sound, the first one, Ri. Repeat, Ri. Yeah, it's like a trill. Ri.
Ri.
You got it. Ri.
Ri.
You know, try to be a bird. Ri.
Ri.
Ri. Prakriti. Ri.
Prakriti.
Prakriti. Yeah, there you go.
Prakriti.
That's why you sometimes won't see it with an A there or an I. Prakriti, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on these because you're not going to see them except for that first one. And the only time you'll see the capital one of these is in the word rishi, right? And the lowercase one of these you will see in Prakriti, Sanskrit, and Vikruti. You know, it's a handful of words. Got that?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions so far?
So, no, I mean, how far are we in the class? That's how lost I am.
Well, the class is not covering this. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you have to learn it on your own.
You have to learn this on your own. So it's not like you're lost, but you will have to learn this on your own.
Well, Dana, if you want, once a week we can hook up and just go through what you learned and what I learned.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So
because I'm starting from scratch too.
And I'm sure
I'm a yoga teacher too, so I know a lot of words myself, but I have to write them down.
That's a fantastic place to be in. So in this course here, I've put some resources. So if you look down at the bottom, there are flashcards. These resources are just books that you can get, you know, from Amazon or something like that. I have videos on writing the Devanagari.
That's awesome. I like that.
Right. There's a class on pronunciation. Simon Chokoisky was my Sanskrit teacher at the Institute. So he's really great.
But most of them I can't get on. Like if I try to get on, it's empty.
The video itself?
Yeah, I've seen just maybe 2-3 of them, and the rest were empty.
Of what Chitra posted?
So they should be there now.
Okay.
Okay. So it's possible that you got on really early on when I hadn't filled out and I did not know what you guys needed.
Okay, perfect.
So as I get questions, I kind of go back and say,
awesome.
Oh, okay, this is what needs to be done. So these are constantly being redone. Now this, when we go into the first thing in the Varna Mala alphabet, where it's just above these vowels, if you click on that to the left, that is a beautiful meditation, and it's sound, you know, so she's going over the alphabet singing it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And nice. You can sing it right along with her.
And it's an hour long. It's beautiful.
Right. And what it does is it not only goes through the vowels, the letters, then it takes each of the letters and combines it with the vowels, you know, and so you're just going through it. Okay. So Valeria was saying, can you show us your, I'm going to stop my share right now and then go back to it. Can you show us what you've been doing?
Yeah, here it is.
Well, move it over. I can't see it.
The other way. The other way.
It's not in the.
There we go.
Okay, so you've been writing it out.
Yeah.
So, and the sound. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what needs to be done in order to learn this.
And Dana, what I do, I just learn one letter, actually two letters, like next day I learn e, and then I learn ooh, because otherwise you just don't know where to start. I mean,
Yes. Okay, good idea.
Okay. So so that's really what needs to be done in order to learn to write it, and think of it like you're in drawing class. You know, just she's got it on regular paper, and she's using 2 and 3 lines to do it. I got kids writing papers where they have the, you know,
Wide ruled.
No, younger than that. The stuff that you teach kindergarten children to write. And I got a calligraphy pen and just played with it, you know, and then I did different colors and all kinds of different things just to make it fun and to help me play with it a little bit more. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Does Devanārī go from left to right? Or right to left? It goes from left to right.
It goes from left most of the time. Okay, so just like in Ayurveda, you say it depends. So the same is true for Devanārī. So let's go back into history a little bit. So when they first started writing, they didn't use paper. And the paper wasn't lined and, 8.5 by 11 sheets. They used leaves or pieces of wood to write on. So depending on what they wanted to convey and how much space they had on it, they smushed the letters together quite often. So sometimes certain letters will be one on top of another. But for the most part, letters are left to right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to go back and share. Any other questions? Because I don't want to go too fast on this early, because this is a very tender place to be, because it's a place of unknown and just exploring like the really deep recesses of our mind. So when Valeria was saying she's just doing 1 or 2 a day, Devanārī and Sanskrit itself is a mind expansion language. So it's going to rewire your brain and you will feel it. So early on, you cannot do more than 1 or 2 a day. All right. You may be able to, after a week or a month, you may be able to sit down for 15, 20 minutes, an hour and do Sanskrit, but no more than that. It's impossible in the beginning because you're literally rewiring the brain. Okay, so it's great for aging. Anyway, what I did, and I'm hoping that I have it on here. So the next phase are the consonants, and yes. So do you see this habit tracker here?
Yes.
I created? Okay. So you can download that thing. And I love these kind of trackers because it's really about repeating it over and over and over again. So what I do is the top of it is the day of the month. And then on the left-hand side is basically activities. And what I will do is I will say, okay, pronounce the alphabet up to your level available. So if your level available right now is just the vowels, fantastic. So do the vowels 3 times, and then you're done for the day with that. Because you're better off doing it 3 times in 3 times a day for 3 days, rather than 9 times in 1 day, and then not do it again for 3 days, because you're rewiring the brain. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you can download this or create your own graph or do whatever you need to do in order to do that. So you can, once you get to all of the vowels, Valeria, when you've done all of the vowels, then I would start, you could even put like the separate vowels into here and do it 3 times, but by day 8, you will know your letter, right? So, so you could just write the vowels only, 3 times, right? Then write the consonants. And then once you get that, you can move forward. And the same is true for the IAST. So what you want to do is you want to match the IAST, the Roman letters with the diacritics, to the Devanagari letter. So that way it comes together for you.
Now, is this Sanskrit habit tracker, is this something we just check off, or do we write them in there?
Check it off.
Check it off and write it on a separate piece of paper. Okay.
Yeah, this is just a checklist.
Okay.
This is a tool for you to use to keep track of what it is you're doing. You can do this throughout. I can't tell you how, when I want to create a new habit, this is what I do. And this is what you're doing, is you're rewiring the brain, so it's always better to do, it's like, okay, so you were yoga instructors. Before you were yoga instructors, you were yoga students. And at first you went to class once a week. And then you just kept repeating and repeating and repeating until you finally are at a point where you know what the asana is. You know that asana means posture and what it looks like. Same thing. Okay? So it's just a matter of repeating and just doing it without the emotion, without the anxiety. It's just a practice. This is not for test. I'm not going to check it. No one's going to check it. This is just to keep you accountable to yourself and a reminder. Oh yeah, I needed to check something off today. What was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go back to the consonants. So,
like some of them are even hard to copy, like ka sound. I mean, it just
some of them are hard. That's why you've got to get into the right side of your brain and just do it as a,
like you said, the art class.
as an art class.
Yeah, I love the writing. I think it's amazing. I want to do it in calligraphy. With the calligraphy.
That's what I do. But you'll find that if you know how to do calligraphy in English, you'll have to turn the pen in a different direction to get the lettering.
Oh, okay.
So don't get frustrated. Okay. So what else is there? So the next letter. So the consonants. So we dealt with the vowels. The vowels are all about the breath and sound, right? How the sound flows, how the sound moves. The consonants are how the breath and sound are manipulated. Okay, so the word for consonant is akshara. All right, so if you look at the top, you'll see akshara. That's the word. That's the word for consonants. And consonant isn't really a good word for it. That's why we use akshara a lot. Okay, because it's just not a big enough word. We don't have it in English. So, so this first letter is a k sound. If you look at the third, so we've taken away that intermediate, the lowercase letters that we had in the vowels. So now we only have 3 lines. The first line is the Devanagari. The second line is the IAST. And the third line is how to pronounce it. Right? So it's ka, ka, ga, ka, na. Okay. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit because this is where you can close your eyes and feel it. And that's the best way to learn these, because you'll hear people talking about gutturals and palatables and labials and all kinds of different things like that. But that doesn't mean anything if you can't feel it. Okay? So the gutturals are pronounced at the back of the throat. So if you try to pronounce the letter ka, feel where that is in the throat.
Ka.
Ka. No, just ka. Like the word key, you know, ka.
Ka.
Yeah. Where you feel it in the back of your throat, it's like here. If you can see that.
Ka.
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 Right? So all of these letters in this line is going to be back here. Ka.
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 Perfect. I'm just going to do an overview so that you can feel where these things are coming from in the throat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The next set of letters come a little bit forward, and it's cha. So we're just doing that first letter. Cha is where the tongue kind of rolls up. So say the word cha, sound cha.
Cha.
So feel where it is in the throat, and what is your tongue doing? Cha. Right? You got it?
Yes.
So go back to the ka sound.
Ka.
Ka.
And now the cha.
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 Do you feel the difference where it is in your throat?
Yeah, it's more forward.
It's more forward. So sound comes from, so let's look at the anatomy. The sound comes, the breath comes first, goes through the vocal cords, and then the mouth and tongue shape it. So the first one is ka, no tongue, ka. Then, well, a little bit of tongue, ka,
Ka.
right? Then the next one is cha, where the tongue literally curls up, but it's a little bit forward from the ka.
Cha.
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 And the next one is the ta sound. So
Ta.
ta. So I'm going to be incorrect here, politically incorrect. But imagine you're making a sound like, do your T's like an Indian person does. Hello, how are you? Today is a good day. So the tongue, the tongue is in the front. It's in the front of the mouth. It touches actually the front, not
The
the
roof.
yeah, the roof of the mouth. Ta. So
Mhm.
say ta.
Ta. Ta.
Touch the
Ta.
roof of ta. Ta. There you go.
Ta.
Somebody did that.
Ta.
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 There you go. Ta. Got it?
Mhm.
So let's go back. Ka,
Ka.
Ka.
cha,
Cha.
Cha.
ta.
Ta.
Feel the difference?
Cha.
Mhm. Ka. Cha. Ta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and now we're going to go even further forward to the ta sound. Ta is an easy sound because it's in English. Ta. It's just
Ta.
a ta. But notice it's at the teeth, right?
Ta.
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 Ta. Just
What's
ta.
it?
Ta. Ta.
Ta.
If you put your tongue up on the roof of the mouth and make that sound, ta, and then put
Ta.
your tongue at the teeth, ta.
Ta. Ta.
There you go.
Ta.
Ta.
Yeah. Ta. Ta.
Ta.
Okay,
Ta.
Mhm.
that's the difference.
Ta. 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 It's
Yes.
almost like a th. Like a
No.
th? No.
Nope. Nope. Ta.
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 Ta. Hmm.
It's just one solid burst of one burst of air through
Ta.
that tongue. Ta. 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 Da. 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 Na. 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 Da. 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 We'll get there. I'm just wanting you to feel where it is in the mouth. Okay. So once we've hit the teeth, where's the next thing going to go? To the
More
lips.
forward to the
Right?
lips.
Right? So the next one is pa.
P.
Okay. So let's try all those fives. Ka, cha,
Cha.
ta,
Ta.
Ta.
ta,
Pa.
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 You feel that? Close
Mhm.
your eyes and do it now.
Hmm.
Cha, ka,
Ka.
Ka.
cha,
Cha.
Ta.
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 ta,
Ta. Ta.
pa.
Pa.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So when we go to study these, that's what you want. When you learn the alphabet in and of itself, try and close your eyes rather than read. So it's always better with the sound, you know. Try to close your eyes and feel where it is in the mouth, and you'll automatically get the alphabet. Okay?
Cha.
Because
Ta. Ta. Pa.
right? So we just learned where they are, but now let's get the order of the alphabet. All right. So back in the back of the throat, it's so when you who was it? Dana said with that extra huh sound. So that's where this next place is. So the first one, and then it's aspirated. So aspiration means that there's an extra huh. There's an extra breath there. Okay. In IAST, we signify that with that H. So the way this line is read is cha, cha, ja, cha, nga. Want to try that? Cha,
Cha. Cha.
Cha.
ja,
Ja.
cha,
Ja.
Nya.
Yeah.
And I made a mistake. I made it more difficult for you. I'm sorry. We didn't start at the gutturals. Let's go back to the first letter, ka, which is hard, a hard sound. Ka,
Ka.
Ka.
ka,
Ka.
Ka.
right? Ga,
Ga.
ga,
Ga.
nga.
Nga.
Yes, nga. It's almost like an NG sound back there. Nga,
Nga.
Nya.
ga.
Nga.
No, not a nya. That's different.
Nga.
That's the Enye one. Nga, nga.
Nga.
It's like you're swallowing your tongue or something
Yeah,
back
yeah.
there.
Nya.
You just need to, we're not going to try to perfect it. I just want you to feel where it is. The nya sound. All right. Ka ka, ka ka, ga ga, nga. Ka ka,
Ka. Ka.
ga
Ga.
ga,
Ga.
nga,
Nga.
Na.
nga. Right. Once more. Ka ka,
Ka.
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 ga ga,
Ga.
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 nga.
Nga.
Na.
Beautiful. Next. Cha cha,
Cha. Cha.
ja ja,
Ja.
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 nga,
Nya.
Ja.
nga. Right?
Nya.
So yes, nga. So that one has the nga sound. It's the enye.
Is that like
Yeah.
in Spanish?
Yes.
Niño?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
in the back of the throat, but not all the way down the throat. Right? Like the first one.
Okay.
So cha cha, ja ja, nga. And the tongue still kind of rolls up, right? Cha cha,
Cha.
Ja.
Cha.
Ja.
ja cha,
Ja.
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 nya.
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 Beautiful. Next. This is where we try to sound like an Indian. Ta ta,
Ta.
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 da da,
Da.
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 na.
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 Let's go back to, you got the T's, but not the D's. So put the tongue at the roof of the mouth in the front and speak the sound da,
Da.
da,
Da.
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 There you go. Ta ta,
Ta.
Ta. Ta.
da da,
Da.
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 na.
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 Almost. No. Keep the
No.
tongue exactly where it was when you did the ta sound. Ta ta,
Na.
da da, na.
Ta. Ta. Da, da, na,
Uh-huh.
na.
Na.
No. Ta ta da da na. Ta ta.
Ta
Today
ta
is a
da
good day.
da na.
No, today. Say today. Today.
Today,
Today.
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 Huh.
Hello, today.
Are
How
you
about
Indian? Are you Indian?
no.
You're not.
Yeah.
I've thought that you were all this time.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I've also been known to be Puerto Rican, Native American, all kinds of different things. I'm Morph. I'm one of those people. Born in Israel.
Oh.
I guess that's where
Cool.
I hail from. Okay. So now this is the easy ones. Ta ta. This is at the
Ta. This is now.
da,
This one is
da.
your tongue is closer to your teeth, even.
Your tongue is on the teeth. Ta ta
Ta,
da da na.
Ta ta da
da,
da na.
da.
Beautiful. Easy. This is what we use in English, except for that extra H. The lips. Pa pa.
Pa,
Pa
pa,
pa.
Ba ba.
ba,
Ba
ba,
Ma.
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 Okay. So you're getting how this progression of the letters are, besides the from the back to the front. There's also a progression of how soft or hard the breath is as well. It goes from hard to
Mm-hmm.
soft, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
not.
the more forward, it's softer, right?
Pa forward. Restate that, please, so I understand your question.
So when we're talking more further back in our throat, we have to use more energy to push it forward.
That's one of the things. That's right. But also the teeth are pretty. We need some energy to push it through the teeth too, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the first letter of those 5, you need more force for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And ma is easy. Na is easy. There's like almost I don't have to push, right? Na, but pa, you have to breathe, push it out, right?
Pa, ba, pa, ma.
Right? So, how are you guys doing? Because this is a lot in one day of the rewiring of the brain. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Almost done with the letters. And then we'll repeat them all together. But when we do that, I'm going to want you to try to shut your eyes. I will say them, and then you can repeat them, but don't look at the letters, because the sight, your vision, overtakes all the sound, which is why, unfortunately, blind people can hear better than any of us, because the sound is working. The vision and fire is what attracts us most, Okay, so the next set of letters is the semi-vowels. And they're sometimes called aksharas too. They're sometimes called consonants. But that's because these letters can pretty much merge with anything. So this is really easy to remember. It's yara lava. You're a lover. Yara lava.
Yara
Lava. Yeah. Wait, that R-U-H one is
Ra.
ra.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, it is R. Yo,
It's an
ra, lava.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
We have these letters. This one is the challenging one. So if you look at the pronunciation, sha and sha is the same pronunciation. It's really hard to write it to pronounce it, but it's the same concept as earlier when we went from the back of the throat to the front of the throat. So this first sh is a sh, right? It's in the back of the throat, not in the gutter. Sh.
Sh.
Right? Yeah, sh. Like we would normally pronounce sh in English, at least.
Sh.
Sh. Right? The next one is where you put the tongue towards the sh. Sh. You put the tongue at the top of the mouth, almost touching. Sh. 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 It's another sh sound, but it's just slightly different. And I'm not going to ask you to get this perfectly at this point in time until you can hear it. Sha, or feel it. Sha. Sha, sa, sha. Sha, sa, sa, ha. Sha,
Sha,
sa.
sa,
Sa is at the teeth.
Fa.
Sa, ha.
ha.
So this
Sha,
is
sa. Sha. Ha.
sha, sa.
Sha, sa.
Sa, sha. Sa, ha.
sa, ha.
Sa, ha.
Sha,
Sha, sa.
Sha, sha. It's a sha
Sa.
sound.
Sa,
Sha,
sha.
sha, 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 sa, sha.
sa.
Now I've got it
ha.
backwards. Sha, sha, sa, ha. So if you think of your mouth rather than the sound, sha, sa, sha, sa, ha, sha, sha. So in the second sha sound, the tongue, it's not the tip of the tongue, it's more of a flattened kind of tongue that's at the top of the mouth. Sha, sa, sa, ha.
Sha, sa.
Sha, sa,
Sha,
sa,
sa.
ha.
Okay?
So is that second one just a lesser of the sha? Lesser?
Yeah, it's a
Sha.
lesser of that hard sound.
Ha.
Yeah.
Sa, sa, ha.
You could say that. And that's good enough for you to know at this point in time, you know, to hear.
Sha, sa, sa.
Okay, so let's do the consonants together. Close your eyes and repeat after me so that you can feel where your tongue is. All right, so this is at the back of the throat. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. Ka,
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 ka.
ka,
ga,
ga,
ka,
ga,
nga.
Na.
Cha, cha. Cha,
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 cha.
ja, ja.
ja,
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 ja.
Nga.
nya,
Nya.
Ta, ta.
ta, ta,
Ta.
Da, da.
da,
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 da.
Na.
na,
Na.
Ta, ta.
ta,
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 ta.
Da, da.
da,
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 da.
Na.
na,
Na.
Pa, pa.
pa,
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 pa.
Ba, ba.
ba,
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 ba.
Ma.
ma,
Ma.
Yara, lava.
Ya,
ya,
ra,
ra,
la.
la, va,
Sha, sha, sa, ha.
sha,
Sha,
Sa,
sa,
sa.
sa, ha.
ha. Beautiful. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel the difference? So
Oh,
you'll learn, you know, so if you close your eyes while listening to the audio and try to repeat that, that's how you will develop the sounds.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Are you shot yet? Is this I'm serious. I know how taxing it is on the brain to do this.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
Okay. So this is the idea. So just get to this particular course And you'll see all of this stuff on here. And as you write, so what we just covered was this first section, first, second, third, fourth, the first, second, and third sections. Okay, and the only thing you need to do is learn these, right? So just learn these, learn what it looks like in the Devanārī and the IAST. And if you do only one letter a day, that's cool. If you do 3 letters a day, that's cool. If you take a whole section a day, I mean like a whole section within here, the gutturals, the palatals, or those letters, that's cool too. Eventually it'll get faster. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I'm reluctant to go any further at this point in time.
I think that that's a really good place. That's really helped me a lot to even get going on this.
Yeah. So just copy, repeat, sing. Say it out loud every time you write. Yeah. Don't get frustrated with the Devanārī there. And you will always see me writing in the chat sessions. Write it in IAST. Write it in IAST. I'm not sure that everybody's got the capability to do it just yet, but as you can see, it gets really confusing when it comes down to the different T's or the B's or the S's. The S's in particular, because that is a, it can change the whole meaning of the word. And a classic example of not knowing how to spell this is when I was at the Institute, we had to learn some of these, you know, the shlokas, and we would sing them. And let's see if I can find it here. Yeah. So we had this word called mala and mala, right? You know what mala is?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Well, the mala is like, you know, the pee, poo, like, no?
Mala is the thing that you put around your neck.
Okay.
You mean the prayer beads?
It's this.
Okay.
Mala is this. Mala
Mullah. What's mullah?
is pee, poop, sweat.
Oh, mullah. Mullah, I see.
Right.
Right.
So this is, so I'm going to stop this share and share a different thing and write it out for you so that you can see the difference. And this is why I keep being so...
Waste. It's waste.
Yes, it is waste. Share screen. Okay, so we're back here again. So let me see if I can erase all of this. Erase this. All right, so if I'm writing mala versus mala, right? So the first one is waste. The second one is your rosary, your 108 beads. So when we were chanting this, quite often, well, our teacher taught us mala versus mala. So that's why the pronunciation in the written word is so key. That make sense to you?
Yeah. So mala beads have the line over the A.
That's right, because it's a long A. Mala. Mala versus mala.
So you know, in the IAST with all of the little symbols,
Yeah.
are those universal symbols, whether it's Spanish, English, Sanskrit, or not? Because I'm sensing, because that you just said that's a long A, and then the N with the little thing on top, that's a nya.
I think they do. They're trying to overlap them to make it universal, but the issue is that not every language has the same number of letters.
Well, in Hungarian, we have a, but we don't put a line over it. We just put a dash over it.
Right. So it's the diacritical markings are the same.
It's different.
The marking themselves is the same, but the pronunciation may be different.
No, it's opposite. The pronunciation is the same, but we're not putting a line.
Oh.
We're putting more like an accent over it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So that's why it's so important there. And then when you go to translate it into that same word, and I just want you to get, you know, familiar with how we are writing this, how we see this. So it's mala verse. And that's what it looks like in the Devanārī if you were to write it. If you can see that. So they actually look different.
Oh yeah, there's an extra
line there.
Line there, yeah.
To make it long sound.
Okay.
But you don't need to know this. I just want you to understand the principle of why I'm always, you know, really emphasizing this, especially for Americans or even I've gotten into arguments with Hindi speakers on pronunciation. I'm serious. And you will see this every once in a while in our class, you know, where Hindi speakers will say Ayurveda, or they will say Vat and Pit, rather than Vata, Pitta, Ayurveda. Okay, so there's always that sound at the end.
Now, is Hindi letters similar to Sanskrit letters?
Hindi letters, they use Devanārī.
Okay. And is it, so, because I took Greek New Testament and it's the same, so I could probably go to Greece and read. I mean, is it the same? If I learn the Sanskrit Devanārī. Devanārī.
And you could read, but you may not understand.
Sure. Right, I probably won't understand.
Right? It's like me being able to read Spanish, but would I understand it? No. Or German, you know, I won't understand.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? So you're talking languages versus the depiction of the language and the sound. You know, but the IAST is just to get us all in on the same place, because there are more letters in Devanārī than there are in English. And that's all those things are. And it's just an agreement.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not right now. This is kind of a lot. This is plenty.
Yeah, you had a full meal. That's good. I hope you have enough Agni to digest it.
To digest it, yeah.
Yeah. So another question though about being behind. Where are we supposed to be reading now in the Ashtanga Hridayam?
So let me explain let me explain a little bit about how Sanjay teaches, or rather how classical teachers teach. They don't necessarily have an agenda or a curriculum. They have a concept that they want to get through certain pages, certain concepts, and they just go for it.
I find that sometimes very hard too.
Yes, it is. And that's why I have been trying to get Sanjay to at least give me an agenda of what he's going to go through so that you guys can prepare. And then I go through the agenda and then he adds something else. But so what you need to, so it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. They're also quite often will teach in a very formal British style, which is I say something, you take notes and repeat. You know, it's really very old school. So the short answer to your question is just read the first chapter and the introduction through the Mangalacharanam, okay, and that kind of thing. I wouldn't worry so much about when he starts talking grammar, nouns and verbs. I would not even go there if I were you.
Okay, good. That's better.
You know,
just keep it simple.
Just keep it simple at your level. You've got it in English. You can understand it in English.
We're at the kindergarten level, and when he does that, he's jumping up to like 5th grade or something.
Right.
4th grade.
Exactly. You know, and there are people in the 5th grade. This is the challenge of, you know, a one classroom class, right? But we can learn from each other because you get an opportunity to know where to go. So remember that he will take questions. So stop him. Don't feel like, you know, Facebook all the time. So that we're not